there's a new car company called Ineos Automotive, and they make one car. It's a modern version of a classic Land Rover Defender, and it looks really cool, but there is one problem. And that is, you can go to their website and you can configure a new car. For example, if you were to pick out a Grenadier, which is their SUV, they also have a truck version. If you pick out the SUV, and you can pick out a trim package like the Fieldmaster, because it has these really cool safari glass windows in the roof, and you pick out maybe a cool blue color that you like, and then you add a rough package for some differential lockers and some off-road goodies, and you pick out some wheels and tires you like, and then you add an auxiliary power package to get cool lights and switches and things. What you wind up with is a brand new car that cost almost $95,000 that has no power seats. I'm talking about a car built brand new in 2025 that after fees and taxes is gonna cost you over 100 grand, that has no modern features. No adaptive cruise control, doesn't even have a speedometer. You'd have to be a complete idiot to actually buy one of these things. Something would have to be just incredibly wrong in the head to even consider putting one of these in your garage. And today on Zero to Awesome, I've made a horrible choice. We're gonna start this one out with a pickle beer because I think I deserve it for this one. If you follow our YouTube channel, and if you don't, please subscribe. You might know that back in January, I bought a new car, a new project car, and I refuse to unveil it until it's completely done. This, the Grenadier, isn't my new project car. This is the other car I bought while still working on the project car. Oh God, I forgot how bad these are. I've been trying not to drink them. That's horrible. But specifically, we bought the Ineos to replace my 2014 4Runner, which was an 11-year-old Toyota with about 160,000 miles, and the thing was flawless. It was lifted, it had big tires, it had a cool roof rack, ladder, had a winch in the bumper, and this thing, all you did was change the oil, do the regular maintenance, and it just performed. It never had issues. So naturally, it was replaced with a British car with a BMW engine built in, I kid you not, a retired smart car factory in France. So today on Zero to Awesome, here are all the reasons you should not buy an Ineos Grenadier. And starting with number one, reliability. Ineos is a brand new car company. I think they delivered their first models in 2023. And what happened was a British billionaire wanted a classic Land Rover Defender, and Land Rover said, no, we don't make those. So he said, fine, I'll do it myself.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
So they literally designed a car, bought engines from BMW, bought a smart car factory in France, and started cranking these bad boys out. So the company's been actually making cars for about two and a half years at this point. So not a lot of history on if these things are going to be reliable or not. It does have the BMW B58 motor, which is actually supposed to be incredibly reliable. It's in the Supra, it's in the Z4. It's supposed to be a really good engine. So it does have that going for it. There's also a lot of teardown videos online where people have gotten these things up on lifts, started taking them apart, and everything underneath the car, your steering components, your drive shaft, all that stuff is supposed to be really good, really beefy. There's a lot of parts that are on 3/4 and 1-ton trucks actually in this car, so it seems to be built pretty reliable. The engine is supposedly good. The components, putting the car together, the suspension, everything, is supposed to be pretty good. Everything on the car body, there's hardly any plastic, everything, even the bumpers are steel. That's good. The problem is the electronics might have some issues. Let's be honest though, it's a British car. It's supposed to have electronic issues. So there's not a lot of electronics. You have one screen, of course you've got modules and computers and things in the car, but it's kind of bespoke electronics made by Grenadier for Grenadier, and there's already some issues with sensors and things. There's a software release that they just did. Unlike the Tesla I had, which was a new car company, you can't get your software updated over the air, so it can't update sitting here in my garage. I have to take it back to Ineos to have the software update done. My closest dealer is about 2.5 hours round trip, and they're releasing it by VIN number. My VIN doesn't yet qualify for the update, and I've already once had my tire, there's a whole tire monitoring system with like temperatures and pressures. I've had that fail once already, but then I just turned the car off and turned it back on again. So hopefully I get the software update, it fixes that. The warranty, talking about reliability, it does have up to a 10-year warranty on certain things. But again, the car company's been around not even 10 years. Will they be around 10 years down the road if I need a warranty claim? Issue number two, and probably the biggest reason I almost didn't buy the Ineos, is maintenance. As you can tell, I like to do my own maintenance on cars. Oil changes, air filters, even more major things like seals. And I like to work on the cars. I don't like to have other people work on the cars. The problem is you can't really get parts. You can go to AutoZone and you can put Ineos in, it shows up as a manufacturer, but no parts show up for the car. Which for the engine, not a big deal. It's a BMW engine. I know what cars it's in, I can find the oil types, I can find the filters, I can find fluid capacities. That's not a problem, but the problem is that when it's time to change my oil, the oil reminder, your maintenance, your service reminders are software locked on the car. You can't reset them yourself. So even when I do change my own oil, I have to drive 2.5 hours round trip to the Ineos dealer to have them reset the service required light that will not go off on the car unless the dealer resets it. Down here is a set of brand new brake pads for my 4Runner that I didn't need, never put those on. What brake pads go on the Ineos? Nobody knows. You go on forums, there's people who've taken things apart and they found serial numbers. We know that they're Brembos. We just don't, no one really seems to know exactly what pads fit. These are so new, a lot of people haven't changed out brake pads or brake parts. Hopefully these things, as they're out there for a while, as there's used ones, as they get cheaper, as people start working on themselves, hopefully we find out part numbers. But for now, I can't do a lot of maintenance. So the maintenance that I can do, I still have to drive to the dealership to have them like code a battery to the car. So hopefully that gets better as the aftermarket catches us up with the new car. Item number 3, and I'll be honest, this is something I didn't find out really until after we had bought the car, is something I'm going to call the Ineos tax. And so what that is I had a Jeep Wrangler for I think 7 or 8 years and modified that thing all sorts of ways. Lifted it, bumpers, tires, tire carriers, all sorts of stuff. And you could get decent, still can get decent Jeep parts from bumper, $300 for a real cheap one, maybe $6, $7 for a real nice one. The Ineos, this thing has pretty much every feature you can get on the Ineos besides the snorkel. And there's one thing we do want, it's aftermarket, a bull bar. A nice bull bar, it goes over here, protects the bumper, looks cool, maybe we mount some lights on it. Not a lot of companies make parts for these cars yet. There's just not a lot of them out there. And the companies that do make parts, a bull bar, piece of metal that goes around the grill, there's 3 that I've found, they're all $1,500 to $2,000. And that's pretty common. Running boards, $1,500 to $2,000. This cup holder, the actually only cup holder in the car, these 2 cup holders right here, barely fit a 12-ounce can. There's a company that makes a slightly larger cup holder, $400. And the last example of the Ineos tax is the trailer hitch. So like I said, this one's pretty fully loaded, came with almost everything, but we didn't order it, we bought it off the dealer lot, and it actually did not have a trailer hitch or the trailer wiring. You can buy a trailer hitch. This tiny piece of metal is about 8 inches wide. It was about $300. And the trick is the wiring. You can't buy the wiring. No one makes it, only Ineos has it, and they don't sell it. And I got a quote from my dealer to put on the trailer hitch and put the wiring in. It was $4,000 for a trailer hitch and trailer wiring. So again, please subscribe if you haven't. Coming up soon, we'll have the DIY how to install your own aftermarket trailer wiring on your Ineos Grenadier, because $4 grand for trailer wiring is just mind-boggling. Car has a 400 amp, 12 volt NATO plug for a rear mounted winch, pre-wired. I can't plug in my trailer. So weird. And reason number 4 you should definitely not buy an Ineos Grenadier is it's actually just the price. So this exact Ineos, you can go on their website right now, configure a brand new 2025, MSRP is gonna be right under $95,000, which is crazy. We didn't pay anywhere near that. We actually bought a 2024. It had right around 500 miles on it, and it was a dealer demo car that they had on the lot that they sold us at a heck of a deal. And actually about a week after we got a really good deal on this car, Ineos released, updated a trim package for this car that comes with portal axles. And if you don't know what portal axles are, it's an axle with higher clearance for better off-roading. The portal axle version of this car is $225,000. Crazy. And I say crazy because it is a $225,000 car built in the year 2025 that still uses a key, no keyless start. Air-conditioned seats, not an option. Blind spot monitoring, not an option. It has manual old school cruise control, no adaptive cruise control. This has 0 modern features. This is actually as equally equipped as my very first car, which was a 1997 Ford Explorer. And I don't think that was almost $250,000. There is something interesting going on with the pricing of these cars, and that is if you want to buy one that's about a year old, you can find them. There's a lot of pre-owned year-old 2024 Ineos out there that have 2,000 about 8,000 miles. And I think what's happening is people are buying these cars, they're spending $100,000 or more, And then after a year, they're realizing, hey, I didn't buy a cheaper G-Wagon. I didn't buy a modern Land Rover. I bought a truck from the late 90s for 100 grand, and it's not comfortable. It doesn't have the bells, doesn't have the whistles. And in fact, it gets 15 miles per gallon on premium. I did the math at current gas prices. It cost me 25 cents a mile to drive this car. So if you do want one of these, you can find a used one. They're sitting on lots less than 10,000 miles at a reasonable price, probably where these things should have been priced to begin with. And we bought this car to be my wife's daily driver, and now that we've had it for a month, I have to say, I actually get really jealous when we go somewhere and she wants to drive instead of me, because this might actually be, in just a month, my favorite car that I have ever owned. I actually have a Hot Wheels or Matchbox of every car I've ever had, and I have had other very capable off-road SUVs. I've had sports cars, I've had fast sports cars, I've had fun sports cars. I had a Prius at one point, and I have to say, this honestly is my favorite, the best car I think I have ever owned. You turn the key and the twin-turbo BMW engine just sounds rowdy. You're driving down the road and the suspension and the handling, like you feel like you could just drive right up a cliff. And like, look at it. It looks like a vintage Land Rover Defender. You stop to put gas in it, which you do a lot. Did I mention 15 miles per gallon on premium? And people ask you what it is and want to take pictures. This is the coolest, most fun car I've ever had. And if I ever had to get rid of my derelict fleet of daily drivers, I guess my wife gets the new car with the warranty, it would be hard not to consider buying another one. Especially if they have a truck version, a pickup truck version. I think it's gorgeous, and if people keep buying them and trade them in, you can get used ones like a year old at good prices. I mean, I hope I never have to get a practical car, but if I did, it honestly might be another one of these. So with that being said, please, it is so, the tolerances here are so close. This thing, we've hit the garage door a couple times with this thing. But with all that being said, there are probably going to be some more Grenadier videos coming up. There'll definitely be one about my DIY solution. I've been following some forums, following some other people's installs. I think I do know how to install the wiring in this car for about $500 instead of $4,000. We'll actually go through a video of all the cool things that actually make this car, dare I say, actually the best car you could ever buy. Not the stupidest. Who would ever actually say that? And until then, I'm gonna go to the gas station because we're out of gas. Again, 25 cents a mile. It's fine. Why do I want two? I don't get this.